Hello and welcome to this introduction to version 0.5 of Orb and Crown. Now this particular iteration has also been ported across to World at War, so it can be played in World at War or Strategic Command War in Europe. So at least there are two platforms on which you may play it if you like. This introduction is just going to go through some of the things that you'll find in Orb and Crown 0.5 with a little bit of commentary, a little bit of playing, and just to get you started, basically. So looking at what we've got in 0.5, you'll see that the AI is now fully available for the allies to play. So you can play only as the allies at the moment. Adversaries is next. It takes an awful long time to get these AIs to do what you want them to do, so bear with me and we will have them up and running at some stage in the future. I have only tested the intermediate difficulty levels, haven't changed any of the computer bonuses, so as you're playing through you might want to fiddle around with those a bit to see if you can make it more difficult or more easy if you need to as the game goes along. The options, you've only got NATO style units to use. That's pretty standard, I suppose. Fog of War needs to be on. You'll find that the AI will do all sorts of cheating if you have the Fog of War off, and well, it's not really cheating just because it can see, everything that's on the map. But anyway, make sure that you've got that on if you want to play it the way that it was intended to be played. I leave the borders off. That's entirely up to you. National colors, I leave them off as well. Again, all of this is up to you, but this is just to get you started. The changelog, which is available in-game, has pretty much a full list of everything that's been changed. The AI might not be described in as much detail as you would like, but I'm going to go through a little bit of that in a second, and also show you what it looks like when you play it in World at War. All right, so the strategy guide and the change log at the end of that details the changes that have been made for multiplayer games and a little bit about what the AI is likely to do. As you know, as it says there, you have to play as the allies. That's coming for the adversaries later on. So to start off with, you will find that you will need to be, as the allies, you will need to be in survival mode. Things will look pretty bleak to start off with. You will be attacked from the north by the Dreadworm Draka with a very powerful mercenary army. You do not want to attack him straight away. Just hold back and build your forces up. He will take Waterspan. There is no way you can stop him from doing that, and he will taunt you. He will taunt Angnord and basically show off, because he can actually destroy units with his breath weapon. So I suppose he has got a bit of power, but anyway, he will meet his end a bit later on. Guartenheim, the land of the Lich Lords and the spewing of volcanoes, and think of Mordor. This Guartenheim will attack randomly depending on the choices that the AI has been given. 75% chance it will build the tunnel through the high Herculean mountains towards Guildford and will attack through those, but it might not. It might also attack Malkan in the east, or it might attack Moradon in the southwest. You just don't know, but you have a pretty fair idea that chances are it will attack through the tunnel towards Guildford and will join up with Mittelheim, the Vikings, to threaten that small principality with two armies from two different directions. We'll have a look at that when we get into the game itself. All right, Angford will need to support Angnord, the son of the king in the north, who is under direct threat from Draka. Need to support Moradon as well, because that at some point will feel the heat of Guartenheim perhaps, and they're far to the east, but they still need to be supported. And eventually they will be, as in Angford, will be attacked by Andania from the west, and they will be a mighty force by the time they get to Angford's borders. All right, and then we have the Ancients. they have several options of how they run the game. So you can attack south towards Imhotep, you can attack towards the north, perhaps towards Potentia, or across to the east against the Golden Khanate. They are options, but eventually you will be worn down. You might be a better player, probably are a better player than me, but the Ancients are unlikely to go far into 2403, the year 2403. So be prepared for Potentia and the Golden Khanate to gang up and attack the Ancients together. And what happens after that? Well, that really depends on how things have gone for you and for the AI. So what I'm going to do now is just going to switch over and start up the game in World at War, and we'll have a bit of a look at that and some of the first turns. So here we are, the opening screen of Strategic Command World at War. And what we need to do once the game files have been downloaded is go into the settings here, go into the mods, and turn on Orb Crown, well 0.5 Orb Crown, and one of the maps. I choose the text only, but you can have a look at the other ones if you like. Turn those on, and then what we will see is that the opening splash screen will change to the Orb Crown splash screen. Clicking on the full credits still shows the credits from the game itself, and all credit to the game designers, especially the AI master. Hubert Cater has helped me a lot with getting this all sorted out, or at least the AI sorted out. All mistakes are mine, all good things are his. So it is a good system. It is really good fun to actually work with this system. All right, now let's say that we were going to play as a single player, and of course we click on that. You'll see Orb Crown 0.5 WAW, World at War, is there with its description and so forth. You can click on the victory conditions here. It will show you what the victory conditions are, which is quite logical really. And I'm not going to go through those at this stage. When you're ready, if you want to, get in there and have a bit of a look. All right, now we're going to click on Play Campaign once we've got all of those things sorted out. As I've said before, the only one that we can play on is the Allies at this point. So we have 5 countries as the Allies against 5 countries as the adversaries. The difficulty level, as I said, I've never changed those, and I'm going to leave them as they are. Muck around with them as you wish, of course. All right. Fog of War is on, 3D units is off, national colors is off. The only other one that I turn off is messages from the AI turn. If you want to see those, knock yourself out. There gets to be quite a few of them as we're going along, as the game goes along. I am not going to look at the advanced options, just going to click OK. Now the game will go through and start the AI turn, so I'm just going to skip over that and go into looking a little bit further down the track. Okay, as you can see, we are in Orb Crown, and it looks identical to War in Europe, but it's being played through World at War. So those of you who own World at War can now, of course, use Orb Crown if you want to. Might not be your thing. Maybe you're not into fantasy. I don't know. I am, and I'm enjoying it a lot. We're about, well, we are 4 turns in. I haven't gone through all of the preamble information that comes up on the screen, and I have not gone through the choices and options that I have set as I've gone through each turn. That will be perhaps for a strategy guide sort of YouTube at some stage in the future, but for now I just want to show you what it looks like basically. And so here we are looking at Guildford and what's left of Angnord. Angnord has been squashed down into the area around Donsborough. The prince is trying to marshal his troops to fight against the dread worm who has taken over his capital of Watersbend up here. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom out to have a little bit of a look at the strategic situation as it stands at this particular point. All right, now as I said, the Dreadworm has come through and taken Waters Bend and this part of Ang Nord. There's a few hangers-on over here in fortifications. They won't last too much longer. But the Dreadworm has mocked the prince and said, "Come and get me if you dare." Basically, it's a threat. The Dreadworm is fortifying this area up here, knowing that holding the castle of Waters Bend is enough to cause all sorts of political and familial strife for the prince, which is exactly what he wants to do. The prince has been joined by his sister, Princess Crystalis, here in Guildford, and she is holding the line against a very fractious Viking country called Mittelheim over here. Mittelheim is building its army, getting ready to attack. Everyone knows it, and she has to help her brother at the same time try to defend these guys here. All right, two-front warfare. Great. However, that is not enough. There needs to be another threat, and down here in the south we have Jotunheim, the land of, think of Mordor. I've said that before, and that's what I think of when I think of Jotunheim. That Jotunheim Peak is the volcano that's spewing forth the noxious fumes and so forth, and we've got a whole heap of giants and humanoids and liches and all the nasties all down here in this scorched, the desert lands of Jotunheim. Anyway, enough of that waxing lyrical. They will most likely build a tunnel through here, through the mountains, using purple worms, and will forge a way through the mountains to come out around the area of the goblin tribe of Buyaron, who is going to let them through. They can't stop them, and that's why they're going to let them through. Jummarok, the gnomes there, will have some resistance. We don't know how well they're going to resist it. Largely, that's up to you and how you use Guildford. Anyway, now we have three different enemies for Guildford. It's possible that Jotunheim will not build the tunnel, but it's more likely that they will. All right, so with that in mind, you must make sure, in fact, unless I'm missing something in the way that this game is played, you have to be in survival mode to start off with. Build up your forces, build them up with the technology that you can get. You won't be able to get everything, that's for sure, to start off with, and build up these understrength units so that they can withstand the onslaught. And then bit by bit, in my experience anyway, you will start to regain the initiative, and you will kill off enough of the enemy that you'll be able to mount your own counter-offensives at some point. Most likely you will guard against the tunnel here. That's easy to stop them, and you'll attack the Dreadworm here in the north, along with King Amist of Angford, who will be able to come through here to support you. He's got his own issues. He's got to defend against the machinations of the Andanians and Mamontians coming from the west. He also has to help Moradon against Jotunheim as well. There are so many different options, and that's just this part of the map here. All right, let's scoot on down to another part of the map, the Ancient Lands. And these guys are going to have to do the same sort of thing. They are probably going to be in survival mode for quite some time. It's possible that they could mount an attack. They could attack into Imhotep here, and I have actually tried to attack up into Potentia and got not very far, but it is possible to actually attack that way as well, or through here. Whether you're strong enough to do that, who knows, that's up to you. All right, so the map itself, I have just realized that I'm going to have to update this map because it's not showing what it should. Don't worry about that. When Waters Bend was taken, back up here, the giants of Maelstrom have come on board. So don't forget them if you're playing as the, well, you will be playing as the allies, but don't forget to move them down, get them into their transports. Costs a bit, 80 gold pieces, and then bring the giants down to help defend against the dastardly dragon that they hate so much. All right, what else do I need to show you? Not really that much. If you go into the user manual, well, not the user manual, sorry, the strategy guide there, it will open up a PDF with information about Orb Crown in-game. That's also found in the manuals folder where you have downloaded the files for Orb Crown. And it's a Word document there, and there's a PDF. So if you want to edit the Word document, go right ahead. All right, that's all I really want to show you at this particular point in the game, and I hope that you will enjoy it and leave any comments that you would like to leave, of course, on the YouTube channel or on the various forums or on the Discord channel. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.